Been so long. I mean, it's been almost 350 days or something like that since we've been on the field. Actually, yesterday when the Air Force Academy was here practicing on our field, it kind of hit me that day because it was the first time another university or another institution had their baseball team on our field since March 11th of last year. So just to see a different uniform on the field was kind of a moving moment for me. And then today, to have some people in the stands. I know it would have been wonderful to have 12,000 people here today. And, but the ones that were here, just having them in the stands, seeing my family over there behind my left shoulder and just kind of getting back to some normalcy in the world was really great. And I was very appreciative that we've gotten to this point. It's been a long journey. It's been hard for a lot of people, and just to be able to be out there again was a very moving experience for me and something I'll always remember.
Hey, Coach, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick with KALB in Alexandria. How pleased were you with the play of Garrett Edwards and also Matthew Beck coming in relief?
Well, our whole pitching staff, Jamarcus was the story of today's game. Of course, Jaden Hill was absolutely fantastic. I thought it was a great start for him. I only wanted to have him go 3 innings. He was only at 44 pitches, and he was begging me for another inning. And we wanted to try to get him extended anyway. And I'm glad we let him go out there for the fourth inning. And he got through the fourth, and I think it was a really good outing for him. And then the plan was for Garrett Edwards to be the first guy out of the pen and throw an inning. Garrett's been a very impressive guy from the time we started in fall practice, and I think he's got a chance to really be special in his career here and help us this year. And there's a good chance he's going to be starting next, in the middle of the week against UL. So I wanted to kind of get him his first outing out there to kind of break the ice for him so that, get rid of some of those nerves so he could get himself properly ready to pitch on Wednesday over in Lafayette. I thought Garrett was great. And then, Matthew told the plan was not really to have Matthew come into the game, Beck to come into the game today. And he told Alan Dunn before the game that this was the best he has felt in about 5 or 6 weeks, just physically and confidently and so forth. And when he threw before the game, just out in the outfield. And so I kind of adjusted the plans and decided to go with Matt Beck instead. And I thought he was just tremendous. He had one breaking ball, got away from, hit the runner. But the reason I took him out of the game was not because he wasn't doing well. I just wanted to keep his pitch count down so that he would be available on Monday again. And I thought Alex Brady, I wanted to get him in there right away. And I thought he did a tremendous job as well. The whole bullpen was fantastic. We really should have pitched a shutout. We had a couple misplays behind the plate there that allowed a runner to get into scoring position and then score on a pass ball. So we should have had a shutout really for the way those guys pitched. And I'm really proud of all of them. I thought they did a great job, but I'm not surprised at all that Garrett Edwards and Matthew Beck pitched as well as they did. Matthew's had a great career, and Garrett's at the beginning of what I think is going to be a great career.
Hey, Paul, it's Glenn here with LSU Country. I mean, you just, obviously, really the start of the game was kind of struggling on offense, just kind of getting guys in. But really over the final, 4 or 5 innings there, you really were able to capitalize with runners in scoring position and things like that. I mean, just kind of talk about how the offense developed a little bit as the game went on.
Yeah, well, in the first couple innings, Glenn, I thought we hit some balls hard. Giovanni really tattooed that ball to the shortstop, and he made a really nice play there with the bases loaded and 2 outs after Will Helmers had struck out. And I thought Dylan, the first batter of the game, hit a ball hard back up the middle, and their pitcher made a nice play. And I thought Zach Arnold smashed one, but it was right at the shortstop, and their shortstop's a nice player. So, we were hitting the ball hard, not having a lot to show for it early. Their pitcher was kind of wild and, gave us what we got. And then, yeah, it was a little disappointing because we had some opportunities there to kind of break the game open, and we just, didn't have quality at bats. And we're going to need to, if we want to be competitive and compete for a championship in this conference, we're going to have to do better than that. And the guys know that. That's why I'm a little bit late to this press conference. I had a little meeting with them, guys have to rise up, and, you're not going to get a hit every time it's impossible to. And when you hit the ball hard, sometimes it's right at people, like I described those other 3 at bats. But you got to have good at bats. You got to put the ball in play. You can't miss your pitch when you get it. I know how hard they've worked. I know how hard Eddie Smith has worked with them. And you want to see them have immediate success. But it was just the first game of the year, and everybody had a few nerves. There's no question about that. I think we'll be better tomorrow. I really, really expect that we will.
Hey, Coach, Jared here. Trey and Dylan had really good debuts today. Could you just talk about their performance and what they did well and what you'd like to see them improve on as well?
Yeah, well, I thought that both of them played extremely well. Not only did they swing the bats well, but that catch that Trey Morgan made over by the dugout where he reached in for the pop-up, that was a major league play. There's something about Trey Morgan. I just think when the lights go on, this kid's going to be at his very best. He hasn't really performed all that great in the preseason leading up to today. And today, Eddie Smith came to me, much like Alan Dunn said to me about Matthew Beck, as I was talking about earlier. I'm sorry, I got distracted for a second. Eddie Smith came up to me and he said, and just kind of whispered in my ear before the game, Trey Morgan's back. I said, what do you mean? He said, oh, his early work in the batting cages today was fantastic. His bat speed, everything was good. His intensity is there. And we just were not surprised at all that Trey went out there today and played as well as he did, with hitting wise, defensively, and so forth. The bright lights have come on. The season has begun, and how this kid's going to take it to another level and be a really good ball player for us. And we all knew that Dylan Cruz had the talent, and he got a couple of hits today. I think he drew a walk as well on a full count pitch. And the more at bats these guys get, the better they're going to be. And I think we've got 2 winners in those guys. There's no question about that. Did Mike Cobble have a question? I saw.
Coach, can you hear me?
Yes.
I was just curious if because of the limited amount of time on the field this week, that you would kind of give the guys a little bit more leeway and let them figure it out as they go, or is that gut gonna make you make some moves even early in the season?
You talking about position players making moves?
Yeah. See what you got out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, the plan has always been to play Drew Bianco the second game at shortstop. So even though Zach Arnold hit a home run today, Drew's going to be in there tomorrow, and we're going to just kind of decide as we go forward how we're going to play that shortstop situation out. And I'm not going to panic because, a couple guys didn't swing the bat good today. The first game of the season is always a very unique feeling for a player. It's exciting. Everybody's looking forward to the year, but what you do in your first 2 or 3 at bats of the season are not going to necessarily dictate the kind of season you're going to have individually. And I know that because the first game, I should say, is always, it's just different. It's different. I'm always happy. I'm excited about the first day of the season, but I'm always glad when it's over as well. And now we can kind of settle into the season, and guys can relax and play the game the way that they know how. And, a couple guys didn't swing good today, like Will Helmers and Gavin Dugas, but those guys, they've shown me that they can hit and they're good hitters. And I would expect that tomorrow that those guys will come out and really put up some good at bats. And, nobody's going to hit the panic button after one ball game. I can be sure of that.
Tell you what, you definitely made the right call moving that game to today after last night.
Oh, you mean how cold it was last night? Is that what he meant?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Crazy cold.
Yeah, I know it. Today was a beautiful day. I see myself in this computer. I didn't realize my face was so red. I don't know why it got that way. I was over in the coldest part of the stadium in that first base dugout the whole day.